What's going on, guys? Patrick here, back with another video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about this guy, the Red Gemini 5K. I asked you guys in my previous video if you would like a video just like breaking down what it's actually like shooting on one of these cameras right here, and a lot of you guys wanted to, so here we are. I'm going to make this video for you today and just walk you through some of my personal experience shooting on Red, and also some things to look out for if you are looking to do it yourself. The brain of this beast is the Gemini 5K from Red, which is a Super 35 sensor. It's their low light one, and I just like it. I like it a lot, so it's the one that I choose to shoot on. We got the big 7-inch monitor here and a top handle with the record button. Also, we got the DSMC2 outrigger handle and a tiny battery on the back. Also, we got the Cook S4 Mini on front here, and of course the mini mag. No SD cards in this one. So that's the kit that I have right here, and this sort of rig is just perfect for run and gun shooting or solo operating on like commercials and so on, which is actually what I did with this kit yesterday. So no issue solo operating a rig like this, and this is really like the bare minimum that you can pull off with a Red camera. So no extra luggage on this one, to put it that way. All right, so one of the key factors about Red is obviously how modular it is. I mean, everything you see here can be taken apart and be added on somehow. And it comes with this little tool right here called the Red Sidewinder. I'm not completely sure if that's the name, but I believe it is. And basically with this one, you can take off, if you don't want a top panel, you can take that off. If you don't want the monitor, you can take that off. If you want a different battery pack, you can take that off. If you don't want this lens mount, because this is a PL mount, you can take that off, and so forth. So it's really modular, which means you can build it out in tons of different ways. And this is one of the ways that I personally like the best. It just suits my style of shooting the best, because I'm usually solo operating. I do sometimes have like a focus puller, but then I'll just add some rails and slap a follow focus on there, and that will be it. But I mean, on like a professional movie set for like a feature film, the camera will be this big. The batteries that I have here are some Hypercore batteries. These are pretty small. I mean, the size of these are pretty small. You can also get them in like this kind of shape, and you can see the difference there. It's pretty massive. So batteries, it doesn't last that long, to be fair. These batteries probably last for about an hour, and these big ones right here probably for like an hour and a half. So you are going to burn through a lot of batteries when shooting on one of these, but you should have enough of them to get through the day. Yeah, so next up I want to talk about these lenses too. I mentioned it was the Cook S4 Minis. I have the 50mm on here, I got the 75mm, and I got the 25mm. And this is actually the first time that I'm shooting on these lenses, and I just love the look they give. I mean, it's beautiful. And this is also one of the features about using a cinema camera, is that you can actually use cinema glass. You don't have to use like Canon L series glass or Sigma. You can actually go out and rent these incredible lenses that will just make your images look that much more beautiful. And yeah, key feature for me on using a cinema camera are PL mount lenses. Right, now over to answering some of the questions you guys had about shooting on a Red, and one of the main ones that just came through and through was, how hard is it to get started shooting on a Red? And let me tell you, it's not that hard. It is not that hard at all, because this monitor right here, it's a touch screen. So basically all the menu pops up on the top here. So you have like the frame rate, you got the f-stop, you got the white balance, shutter angle. All these settings are on the top of the monitor here, and you just press one of them, and you got the slider tool, move it back and forth until you have what you want, and then you're good to go. Also, if you want to like play back, you can just press down here. It's super easy. And I mean, if you have shot on any of the Blackmagic cameras, you will be super familiar, because it's pretty much the same menu. It's pretty similar. So no, it's not hard at all to get into that way. And actually, a funny story, the first time that I ever shot on a Red, I was working on a festival here in Norway, and this guy just hands me a Red camera and tells me like, okay, go shoot this artist right now. And I've never touched a red camera in my life. So I'm trying to figure this red camera out while the artist is on the stage performing, right? And I just get like super stressed out because I don't even know how to turn it on. Pro tip, by the way, the power button is right here on the back, the red one. So just press that and the camera goes on. Now, I was super stressed out and I didn't know what to do, but as soon as I figured out the power button, it was all good because it was so self-explanatory and easy to use. So if I can do that, you probably can too. And I was like super stressed out, but I still managed to get out of it. So yeah, it's pretty easy to use. Now, another question you guys had for me was, how difficult are these files to edit? Like, how beast of a computer do you need to have in order to edit these files? And the answer is, you don't need a beast of a computer. I mean, my Sony a7S files are more difficult for the computer to edit than these files from the Red. It is mind-boggling how that works, but it has to do with the codecs and the compressions and so forth. But my 6-year-old MacBook can easily edit Red files. So no, you don't need a beast of a computer to edit these. All right, so I guess like a natural follow-up question to that is, how are these files to edit? Like, how do you change the raw settings? How are they to grade and so forth? And instead of just talking about it, I'm gonna show you guys. So I'm gonna jump on the computer and meet you there and walk you through it. All right, so here we are in Premiere and I've just imported some of the shots into the project and they come in these folders as you can see, but when you open the folders, it's just like any other video file. So you can just use them like you are used to. Now, the important thing here is that when you drag them down to the timeline, or if you have them open in the source monitor, you can click Effects Control. And then if you're in the source monitor, you'll be automatically taken to the master one. But if you're in the timeline, you'll have to click the one up here that says master. Now, once you're in here, this is where the magic happens. So as you can see, we have a couple of options as far as the image pipeline goes. Now, on the newer models, you'll have IPP2, which is the newer color science or whatever they call it. If it's an older one, it will be on legacy and you'll have some other options, but we're going to be talking about IPP2 today. It's all pretty similar, so you'll be able to follow anyway. So here you can see we have some options as far as color space goes, the gamma curve. We can change the ISO. So let's say I want this image to be a lot brighter. I'll just bump up the ISO to 1600 and there we go. It's that easy. I'm going to drop it down to 800 again. And now we can also change the white balance. So let's say I was going for a bit of a cooler image here. I'll just drop the white balance to like 3500 and there we go. We have a cooler image. Let's say I want the opposite. Now, there we go. We have a warmer image. It's that easy. You also have some other options here to really like nail the look before you start color grading that you can just use like any other preset or color grading plugin that you're used to. And once you are done with this, you can just click out to the other tab here and you'll have your normal controls like you're used to. All right, so the next question that I got for you guys is it expensive to shoot on Red? Yes, it is expensive to shoot on Red, especially if you want to purchase a Red, because it's just stupidly expensive. Same with these lenses. These lenses are ridiculously expensive. But don't you worry, I don't own any of this gear. I rent this gear and you should too. Buying a Red right off the bat is a bad idea. Buying a Red is for when you have a ton of experience and you get jobs all the time that require a Red, which then means it's just cheaper to buy one than renting all the time. But I mean, renting these for project it's what I do. I'm looking to buy one actually, but renting has been working out pretty good so far. And it's not that expensive. You can rent one for like $250, $300 a day. And like now it's a Saturday. I rented this yesterday for a shoot. I actually picked it up on Thursday and I'm delivering it on Monday because the rental houses are not open on the weekends. So basically I pay for 1 day of renting this because I shot on Friday yesterday. But I pick it up on Thursday night. I leave it in on Monday morning. So I basically pay for 1 day, but I get 3 days, which is pretty cool. So if you're looking to rent one too, you can probably do the same thing. Just rent on a Friday and you will have it over the weekend to play with. So pro tip, do that. So the next question is, how do you think when you shoot on one of these guys compared to like a mirrorless or a DSLR? And the answer is completely different, because obviously this camera weighs a ton, so you cannot lug it around like you do with your A7S all day. I typically like to shoot on an easy rig, which is the kind of thing that goes over your head with the pole and the wire. Also, when you like shoot on one of these guys, you just get so confident. That's like such a key factor. You're so confident in what you do, and you're just like so confident in that the product you're delivering right now is going to be incredible. Like the image that comes out of this thing is just mind-boggling. It's so good, and it just, I don't know. I feel like I become better when I got one of these, because I just feel like the roof of sort of limits are way above what it is on like a Sony. So I just get like more creative, more confident, and I deliver better products. The flexibility you have with this footage, it just looks beautiful, and the flexibility you have in post is incredible. All right, so the final question that I got for you guys is, if you watching this at home right now should consider shooting on one of these. And I absolutely think you should. I mean, like I talked about, renting is not that expensive, and if you rent it on a Friday, you get it over the weekend. So think ahead a little bit and like plan a shoot on Friday, on Saturday and Sunday. Rent it out on a Friday, you have it through to Monday, and you get 3 days for the price of one, and you get to test out this incredible piece of technology. I can sit here all day long trying to explain to you what it's like shooting on one of these, but actually getting your hands on it and trying it out for yourself, it's just a different world. You know, you can consume information, but once you get like hands-on experience, that's just a different story. So yeah, I definitely recommend you to try it out and get a feel for it. You might not like it, you might love it, kind of depends on. And then you can start, like, once you've actually done it before, you can actually start selling renting packages onto your clients. Like, okay, for this shoot, I think my professional opinion is that we should have a red. So I'm gonna add that onto the invoice. So then you can begin to shoot on a red for clients and just work your way up through that way. All right, guys, so that pretty much sums up the video for this time. The red is a beautiful camera. I love to shoot on it, and I definitely suggest that you try it out for yourself. In case you want to just look at some of the red footage, I've actually shot some of this today, especially for you guys. So I'm gonna upload that and put a link in the description so that you can download the 5K raw footage straight from this thing with the Cook S4 lenses on it, and just check it out, see what it looks like, and try to grade it, and just, yeah, get a feel for it. So yeah, that pretty much sums up the video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like and a comment, and I'll see you guys later.